Hi there everybody, Jo Rose at jorose.com. Talking today again about the two energy that October has gifted to us universally and how the two energy affects all of us, but most importantly about relationships. So today I want to share a number of things with you, but first a little recap on how it's the two energy. So 2017 is a one energy, and we acquire that by adding together 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 7 equals 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. And then what we do to the universal year energy, we add the number of the month. Well, October's a 10, so 1 plus 0 is 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. So October's a 2 month. And whatever the universe has, it affects each and every one of us because that is the energy that we are flowing on. So what is the two energy? Again, a recap. It's really about patience, harmony, cooperation, relationships, partnerships, nurturing, love, collaboration. That word's a challenge for me. Affection, support, understanding, listening. Everything that a good relationship needs to make it work. I also want to say that relationships are no different from a business, from a job. We have to put effort into it for it to work. And we really need to know in our head and our heart why we're in a relationship with somebody. What is it that the relationship is serving? And before we can be in a relationship, we really need to have a good, strong foundation of a relationship with ourselves. So how we see ourselves, how we treat ourselves is a reflection of how other people are able to treat us. And if we're not enough, we'll find in time, we will create the relationships that prove that we're not enough. So now is the time to turn it all around and prove that we are totally enough, more than enough, that we ooze this amazing energy of love and connection and support within ourselves in order to attract the right relationship. So today I want to share with you service in relationships. So what is service in relationships? All too often we can see an old-fashioned role where the woman does most of the things at home, the man goes to work, brings home the money, and the woman provides everything else. We are moving forward, and now both the two partners go to work, and therefore the home still needs to be looked after, and that isn't down to one person. But because of our ancestral programming, often the female energy, the woman in most cases, will be the one that makes sure that the household runs. And that's all great, and it will feel possibly more natural for the woman to do this. But when we talk about the energy and the woman doing this, we're looking at the feminine side of this and the feminine energy of which the two brings. And the two energy, like I said to you before, is this nurturing and supporting. And I want to suggest that we look at the difference between support and help. When we help someone, we're fixing it for them. That's a very 6 energy, a very 2 energy, often a very 4 energy, and even an 8 energy. So the even number energy. When we support someone, we're actually coaching them into a better place. And there's a lovely fable story, I don't know where it originates from, of the hungry man, and we can give him a fish and feed him for the moment, feed him even possibly for the day if he's been that starving. But once he's eaten the fish and he's digested the fish, tomorrow will bring on a hunger. But better still, what could we do is give him a fishing rod and teach him how to fish, because then he could feed himself over and over, and not just him but his family and his community. So there is a great difference between support and help. And we need to understand that. All too often we go, but I'm helping you. And we're looking in a relationship with our partner or our children or our friends. I'm helping you. No, the only way you're really helping them is to support them to raise up their own ability, their own resourcefulness. And that's where the one energy comes in, finding new beginnings, the one energy of the universe that we have right now. So there's a difference between support and help. Now, when we look at support, we often look at service. And what is service? Service is a number of things. In a business, it's how our business serves you. It's how we serve our clients. It's how we serve the community. And in relationships, it's how we serve the family members. In friendships, it's how we serve the friendships. And the saying, you don't give to receive, I actually want to say that that's not one of the best sayings that we can have, because no, we don't give to receive. But if we don't receive back at some point, not necessarily from that person, but from someone, we eventually run on empty. And running on empty burns us out, and then we start to feel that we're overgiving, and then that moves into resentfulness, and this is how relationships start to splinter and fall apart. Service. So what is service, and how can we help people with this? It is coming together as a team, very 4 energy, coming together as a team and seeing what needs to be done to bring each of us to a space of freedom, of rest, of completion, so that if we get the services, the chores done out the way in the home, then we've got more time to rest. And I often used to say to my children, if we all mucked in, a job that takes me an hour would take us all 25 minutes each, so still the same hour given, but 25 minutes. And then a busy mum or a busy partner that doesn't have time has now created, there's not an hour and 4 lots of 25s do not add up to the same figure. So let's take 100 minutes just to make this easier. That's what happens when you go live. So 100. So let's say it takes 100 minutes for me to do it, and it takes 4 of us 25 minutes to do it. Then we've gained, I have gained 75 minutes then to spend with my children. And I used to explain this, that if we wanted to go and do something, if we all mucked in, we could do it much quicker. And so when people are very service driven, it doesn't mean that they totally want to do all the service. It means that they do the service because somebody's doing the service, or the service needs to be done. And here we need to think about doormat or loving what we're doing. Don't be a doormat. Service is not about being a doormat, because we need to be valued. Remember I said in the previous video with the quality time, it's all about valuing ourselves, valuing our time, valuing our service, valuing the people that we do it for. So be mindful of the services that you're offering, and be mindful if somebody's doing a lot of service for you and you're doing nothing in return, or what you're doing in return isn't necessarily having your partner feel that you're valuing what they're doing. So for example, and I'll go back to the 5 love languages, that there was a conversation in the book about when a couple first met, the lady, the girl in the relationship, she had chores to do at home, and the only way that she could be seen or see her boyfriend was for him to come round and spend some time with her, then help her with the chores, of which he liked to do because he spent time with her, but help with the chores, and the chores got done. So they went through a courting stage where this happened. Then they got married and the chores stopped, and the resentment came. So the chores stopped. So then the lady didn't want to do the chores. So then the house became messy, and then the man complained that the house is messy, and he's been at work all day. And before you know it, you've got 2 people constantly at one another. Let's step back. So what illusion was given to the lady that married the man? Well, she saw this caring, devoted man that helped her do the chores. Now she's married to a man that doesn't. But when he got married, he stepped into the role he saw his parents doing, where moons back, the woman stayed at home and did all the chores and the man went to work. But times have moved on, and that's not the way it is right now. So how can you help your lady with the chores? How can you then help or do the chores that serve your man? Sit down and ask each one what that you could do for them in this week, in this month, in this year, of the 2 energy that's coming in to full play. As from now it's trickling in, next year it will be in, is how can you serve them? How can you support them? What do they need from you? And it may be a simple little thing, like have the bed made every day so that when they finally go to bed, the bed all looks nice and fresh and it's a nice place to connect, as opposed to, ugh, the bed isn't tidy and it's got that negative energy in it. So natural service numbers are the 2, 4, 6 and 8. They are the numbers that are serving. The 2 is very much about the relationships. The 4 is very much about family and team. The 6 is very much about family and community. And the 8 is very much about, it's more very much about business, but they like to show their family in ways. And often the 8 we see, because it's the financial number, manages to attract the services of others to make the services run in their home. However, the 8 is still very much a service number. We love differently from the energy of the numbers. So a 3, 6 and 9, they are more romantic. And so if you want to maybe, yes, we need the household chores done, but if we want to really connect to them, they're more into the arts. They're more into romanticizing and poetry and expressing themselves creatively, stimulation and so on. If we look at the 1, 5 and 7, those numbers are very intellectual and they need to be understood and they need their mind to be valued, their thoughts, their thinking and so on. And as I said before, the 2, 4 and the 8 are task related. We need to learn to make requests, not demands. So if something needs to be done, we make a request. Could they do it? Yeah, that we should eliminate shoulds from our language and have, could you do something? Then would you do something? No should. So my son often goes, could have, would have, should have, but it's the way we need to look at it. So we're looking at support in this area, acts of service. And acts of service is, don't do it if it's draining you. Do it because you want to. Now, when we're in a family at the moment, we're doing it because we feel we have to, because nobody else would do it. But of course, if we keep doing that and nobody else will do it, then nobody else will do it. It's only when we don't. And then we get sick because we're tired of doing it, and then somebody has to do it. And then when people start to do it and we realise, oh, being sick has got a secondary gain, we start to develop illnesses that make us less able to do things so that everybody else does it. And I've seen this over and over again of how people, they pull their back out, or they can't walk, or they can't stand for a long time, or do things, is they have invited this in because they are tired of over-serving. So if you love your partner, I want to say unconditionally, but most people do not love our partners unconditionally. We love them conditionally. But to go back to real love, because love is given, it's not earned or deserved, that we need to look at by supporting them more, doing more for them, even if we see that they do it themselves, how we will be improving their health and well-being. And it is that vibration that is going to raise up the energy of love on this planet, and it's the energy of love that is going to turn the world around, that make it a better place, that will eliminate the violence and the war and the destruction. Love is the key to move forward. And talking about love, you know, my motto is, it's your life, LYFE, love yourself first every day. Loving yourself and not doing the chores may be serving you short term, but long term it's not. So have a look at how you can help your partner, how you can support them, and even a little bit of support makes such a big difference. So we've covered time, quality time, we've covered words of affirmation, and we've covered support so far. There are 2 more love languages. One is physical touch and the other one is gifts. I would like to share them with you in the next couple of videos. If you found this interesting, please share it. Go find me on YouTube and subscribe to the page and share the posts. And if you found this on Facebook, please again share it and come and join me in one of my groups, Soul Empowerment. I look forward to speaking with you in the next video. Have a great day.